Coming up on the Angus Report, pasture prices are up while cropland declines.
The new VFD requirements and establishing a plan with your veterinarian.
How to interact with consumers in understanding how beef is raised.
And our story of a steak continues in Chapel, Nebraska.
This is the Angus Report. Hello and welcome to the Angus Report. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. Recent grassland and pasture rental prices appear to be gaining ground while cropland values show declines in some areas. That's according to a Nebraska report from Pork Network. Prices, of course, vary by region. The analysis comparing 2014 and 2015 averages for pasture rental rates show year-over-year increases ranging from 11 to 85%. Grass-lease prices reported earlier in the year were generally higher through Wyoming, the Nebraska Panhandle, and central Nebraska and western South Dakota. 2015 harvest results, lower grain prices, and expected lower farm profits could affect the pending land market, but long-term economic trends for land value and ag markets remain positive, according to a cited source from Farmers National Company.
Pending changes to the Veterinary Feed Directive regulations have many industry experts suggesting producers form a game plan now with their veterinarians and nutritionists. The new VFD guidelines are set to go into effect in January 2017. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration first established VFD rules in 2001, but the new guidelines aim to use the most effective methods to keep animals healthy while preserving the efficacy of antibiotics also used in human medicine. Mike Apley, a member of the Presidential Advisory Council on Combating Antibiotic-Resistant Bacteria, talks about the Veterinary Feed Directive guidelines in this interview provided by Kansas State University.
So the Veterinary Feed Directive essentially puts veterinarians in charge of all medically important antibiotics that are used in the feed of food animals. At the same time, all water uses are also being switched to prescription. The biggest difference is no extra label use in feed. The veterinarian can't prescribe extra label use in water. Growth promotion uses of medically important antibiotics are gone January 1, 2017. Ionophores are not included in that. In the FDA Center for Veterinary Medicine's comments related to the Veterinary Feed Directive, they have a next steps document. And in that next steps document, they make it very clear that they do not think that the routine use of medically important antibiotics for prevention or control where there is no defined period of administration, they do not think that use is consistent with their definition of stewardship, nor do they think it is consistent with judicious use. So what they're telling us is we're going to take a long, hard look at some of these uses where there's no defined period and it's for prevention and control in the feed. So veterinarians will be put in a position now where they're not only responsible for all antibiotic use in food animals, except a few over-the-counter drugs left at the feed store, they're also accountable for it.
Today's consumers are more curious about the origin of their food, despite being farther removed from agriculture. Rancher and blogger Debbie Lyons-Blythe from White City, Kansas, gives tips of how cattlemen can engage with curious consumers.
One of the things that people need to do to really make a good connection with consumers is quit telling our story only and stop really just pushing information out there. We've got to make this a connection. We have to make this an opportunity to have a conversation, not just spread information. So we need to focus on making the connection with them and showing them, I talk to other moms. Well, I'm a mom. That's a perfect connection. I have the same concerns as any mom does. And by the way, I'm a cattle rancher and I know how to raise your beef.
In just a few weeks, the Angus Means Business National Convention and Trade Show will be underway in Overland Park, Kansas. Online registration is available for $125 per person until Friday, October 16th. And after that, advance registration will be closed and guests may register on-site for $150 per person. Included in the registration fee is access to Angus University and all the educational sessions, a Sammy Kershaw concert on Wednesday, November 4th, the expansive trade show, and 3 certified Angus beef brand meals. Visit angusconvention.com to register today.
Both the House and Senate have reauthorized mandatory livestock price reporting through 2020. The Senate version of the bill stripped the emergency authority provision, meaning the legislation does not make the program an essential government service, rendering it vulnerable to future government shutdowns. Mandatory price reporting requires meat packers to report to USDA the prices they pay for cattle, hogs, and sheep purchased for slaughter, as well as the prices they receive for the sale of wholesale beef, pork, and lamb. Mandatory price reporting also requires USDA to issue daily, weekly, and monthly livestock and meat market reports. We go now to Jenna McCrell with a look at news you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Crystal. While the entire cattle industry is enjoying near record prices, it's nothing quite like what the Angus breed experienced throughout the past 12 months. When the American Angus Association closed its books on fiscal year 2015 at the end of September, the numbers were outstanding. In sales reported to the association, registered Angus bulls averaged more than $6,700 per head in fiscal year 2015. That's up more than $1,500 per head from this time last year. Angus females were also witnessing record prices at more than $5,300 per head, which is an increase of more than 45% from 2014. The collective success of Angus breeders across the country has resulted in nearly $437 million in gross sales for registered Angus genetics in fiscal year 2015. Tune in next week or visit angus.org for more year-end highlights from the association. And National Junior Angus Association members who are 8 years old will soon be eligible to compete at Angus-sponsored shows, according to a new age rule approved by the American Angus Association Board of Directors and the National Junior Angus Board, which takes effect January 1st, 2016. The NJAA sponsored more than 50 junior shows during the past year, involving nearly 5,000 Angus youth. The new rule states that an exhibitor's birth date must fall between January 1st, 1995 and December 31st, 2007 to be eligible to compete, and the individual must also be a junior, regular, or life member of the American Angus Association. And be sure to confirm age requirements with the show directly before submitting your entries. For more information, visit njaa.info. And that's what you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Jenna. When the Angus Report returns, economist Dan Bosse and a bearish outlook for ag commodities.
Then Tom Field in an entrepreneurial minute, and Tom Williams in a story of a steak.
Visit angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Have you discovered self-deworming cattle products? All the benefits of an effective deworming without all the labor, handling, and stress. Discover Safeguard self-deworming cattle products. Ask your local animal health provider or visit safeguardcattle.com for more information.
The GGP-LD, the most popular low-density genomic profile on the market, is now available for Angus. And at $45 per head, you can afford to test all your cattle. Plus, you can save even more time and money raising reputation seed stock. Put the GGP-LD profiler to work finding your best bull calves and the elite females that will brand your legacy. For more affordable accuracy, go GGP.
Horn flies cost cattle producers nearly $1 billion a year. They interrupt grazing, cause loss of blood, and impact your bottom line. By incorporating Alticid IGR into your supplement program, you can prevent the emergence of adult horn flies. Alticid IGR will significantly reduce stress on your cattle. For pennies a day, you can control the most costly parasite and increase your profitability. Contact your feed supplier to incorporate Alticid IGR today.
Beef Quality Assurance is your consumer-friendly story. Becoming BQA certified allows you to share your story and ensure customers that we're responsibly raising a safe, wholesome, and healthy beef supply. The checkoff-funded BQA program equips you with the best management practices for handling cattle, tending to their health and taking care of the environment. And now, thanks to a partnership with Behringer Ingelheim, you and your employees can earn a free BQA certification online from September 15th to November 20th. Visit bqa.org today.
Farming is in your bloodline. Engineering is in ours. We build machines that burn less fuel and load more material, helping you move bales, spread feed, and clean pens efficiently. Cat machines make chores move a little faster, so you can spend more time with the people that matter most. Caterpillar, helping you create the life you want.
I use an AI service to increase the genetic potential of my herd. We're using top-notch bulls. There's no way I could afford to go buy the bulls that I'm using now without AI. I knew Shane would be somebody that could get the job done and provide me with the help that I needed to do a project like this. I AI myself, but there's no way that I could do 250 head in a project by myself, so I relied on select sires to help me fill that gap.
Welcome to 44 Farms. I'm Bob McLaren, and today we are at Hay Merchant in Houston, Texas. They are providing one of the great eating experiences in Houston, and the backbone behind all of that is the great Angus genetics that we provide at 44 Farms. I'd like to invite you to 44 Farms on Saturday, October 24th at 11:30, where we'll have the largest offering we've had to date. We have more than 500 big stout Angus bulls that are ready to go to work. This is a fun day for us, and you are very important to us. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you then.
Hey cattlemen, the Angus business comes to Overland Park this November with the Angus Means Business Convention and Trade Show, educational workshops, entertainers like Sammy Kershaw, and an industry-leading trade show. Plus, we're giving away a Caterpillar skid steer to a lucky attendee. All cattlemen are invited. Get registered at angusconvention.com.